Let me tell you a story. A lady reached out to me one time and she was worried about her daughter. Let's call her name Zena. That's not her real name. Zena was 12 and was always the bright and capable child. You know what we call the trophy child. But sometime after recently, Zena started to struggle with school. So whenever she's faced with a difficult task, be it assignment, be it a personal issue, sometimes even a social issue, she will get frustrated and give up quickly. Now, her mom and her dad, who are yadas, found themselves stepping in to rescue her all the time. Now, whether that meant doing her project or sometimes even going to school to settle matter, like my daughter and her friends would say. And one day, when Amaka got in touch with me and she started to actually share with me some of the struggles that she has had with her daughter. And her husband call him Eric, right? And both of them, got into a session and we were able to actually do a reverse engineering to see where this was coming from. What has happened was that Zena didn't build the kind of resilience and independent skills that were required. One of the things that I wrote in one of my upcoming books called The Parenting Advantage, positioning yourself, transforming yourself into an advantage to your child. In that book, I said that one of the things you must never do is to create solutions for your children, but create tools. Most times what we do is that we create solutions for our children. Now, when she started to realize some of the things that happened, the counsel that I had given, and I had also told her to go and read this book, Raising the Independent Thinking Child. Now she realized that by constantly stepping in, she wasn't allowing her daughter to develop the independence and resilience that she needed. I remember her father saying that, how do we begin to change this approach? One of the things that they did was to change how they were solving problems for Zena, and they began to guide her through the process. So anytime Zena was struggling with her homework, for instance, Eric would encourage her to take a break, think through the problem, and come back with a clear mind. At the very beginning, Zena protested, just like many of our children, wanting her mom to help her as usual, or even her dad, but they both stayed firm. Now, slowly but surely, Zena began figuring things out on her. The real test came when Zena had a debate in school. Now, normally, Amaka and Eric would have written out the points, but this time around, they simply gave Zena tips on how to research and prepare. On the day of the debate, Zena went fully prepared, having done the work herself. She didn't win the debate, but you know what that did for her? She came home and proudly said, "Mom, Dad, I am proud of myself." You know why? Because I did it on my own. That was a huge moment for Zena and even her parents. Now, remember that the independent child, or even the resilient child, or even the responsible child, is not a child who doesn't make mistakes. Nor is it about a child who does not, have errors. Or is it about a child who is perfect? Excellence, again, I say, is not perfection. That ability to do it on her own was a game changer for them as a family. Now, Amaka would later tell me that it was hard at first to step back, but I'm so glad that they did. Zena is now more confident, more resilient, and I'm learning to let her, they're also learning to let her find her path. Now, this story is a powerful reminder that as parents, sometimes the best thing we can do is to let go. Trust that our children have the strength and the wisdom to navigate their journey. Which is why I love the book, How Not to Bail Out Your Male Child. In that book, I wrote how the bailout system has actually become a mess for most of the male children today. It's not about taking away struggle. And you've heard me say to you, inner circle parents, that struggle is a gift. And if you can give your children the gift of struggle, because that's what makes people champions. But it's not about, just keep letting them, oh, I don't want them to suffer. You know how we said. But it's about helping them rise through it. This October, let us follow Amaka and Eric's footsteps by allowing our children to step into their independence. Trust that the challenges that these children face, they will help them grow into resilient individuals, capable of standing on their own. One of the very key aspects of a struggle that we're having today are children who are not resilient, children who cannot stand up for themselves, and it's causing a whole lot of mental health issues. Now we're having children who think that the world is a bowl of potatoes. Now, for you to actually begin to think that the theme of the month of October, this inner circle month, who is excited that we have just 2 months to go for the year 2024. Yes, but 2 powerful months you do not want to miss. In October, we're looking at building independence and resilience. And at level 1 and 2, level 1, we're going to be reading the book, Raising the Independent Thinking Child. I think that the 2 books we're reading this month in the different cohorts, it's one of the books that some of the books I love. Love, love, love. The practicality in this book will wow you. It's a book that when you read it, you are able to take up right now as I speak to you, to actually begin to run. And in the other levels where I'm reading discipline is not an emergency. And this book, of course, you know that it's a whole great chronicle. I also advise the people in the other levels to also go through this book again, Raising the Independent Thinking Child. I know I've read it before. Raising the Independent Thinking Child is a game changer. It's a game changer in everything that you do in your parenting. Now, this month is all about equipping ourselves and our children to stand strong, even when life throws the toughest challenges our way. Independence means giving ourselves the tools to make choices. And in this book, I wrote it and I said there are 12 tools that you will need. And that is what this book is about. All of the 20 tools for raising independent thinkers. And that is what you need. We're excited that this team is going to help us build powerful people and take responsibility and also carve their own path. We're going to be exploring practical strategies for fostering these vital qualities in ourselves and even in our children. So whether it's teaching them how to solve problems on their own or helping them build emotional toughness to face setbacks, every activity in this one will be geared towards raising capable and stronger children. In October, you will see exciting challenges, helpful tips, meaningful conversations centered around developing independence and resilience in our daily lives. Remember, resilience is not just about being tough. It's about growing through adversity and coming out better on every side. So let's get ready. Let's embrace the new journey. Whether you are just a backyarder, a front yarder, or you just got serious in the month of October, you are not late. Believe you me, you can do something in 2 months. Even though it looks like, oh, the year is gone. I just want to start all over again and start in the journey of 2025. I hear you. I know that you've already registered for 2025. You're just waiting for 1st of December. Please do not just wait. Remember that time is the currency of destiny. And one of the things that you want to do is that you want to use the time that is available to you today to actually begin to run your race. I look forward to this month because in this month, the webinars are amazing. I cannot even say how this month is going to change our lives in the inner circle. Oh, you think the inner circle, there's something that you've seen? You haven't seen anything yet. This month, we're going to be doing the webinar on overcoming financial trauma. Coach, is there something like that? Yes. And we're going to also be teaching the skills of extra. It should be one of my favorite webinars. And then we're also going to be doing the webinar of the month, How Prepared is Your Child Raising Kings, Kingmakers, and those who sit at the table with King. This will be a deep dive into how to raise children with influence, resilience, and leadership qualities. I love to walk this journey with you. I am really looking forward to the month of October. Please do not miss it. I am particularly very excited about this month. And of course, if you had the webinar of the month, it's different from what the webinar was last year. But you will be glad that this is the webinar you're going to listen to. It's created direct from heaven and you want to listen to it. I hope that you've been onboarded for 2025 because 2025 is even going to be sweeter. Please do not leave the ark so that you don't get drowned in the storm. The world is as stormy as it is now, but we are hitting every moment of the day and we are changing the narrative that we have today. Remember when we shared with you the 10-point strategy or 10-point agenda of the Alice Bailey's agenda that was written in the 1808 or something. And today, all of us are living the 10-point agenda. I promised I was going to share that in the yard. I will share with everybody to actually take a look at that 10-point agenda. Right? So, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to an amazing time with you. Have an amazing October and happy Independence Day to Nigeria. Bye. See you in the yard.